much, Mamudimu. Welcome to the 8th episode of Confessions of a Consecrated Cutie. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Yeah. If you don't know who I am one and only _Rory, formerly known as Heeelang. I'm obviously a digital content creator. But if you want to get to know more about me, you can definitely start with episode 1 because that's where I really unpack who I am. And here on this podcast, I'm a storyteller, so everything is tied together. Sometimes I refer back to certain episodes, so it is great that you start from the beginning. However, if you are like me and you can start a series in the middle and take it from there, welcome. And I really hope that you enjoy this episode. So I've already done a bit of my intro, but so I'm just gonna add a little bit more to the story. So if you guys already know that I'm an engineering dropout, right? And the reason why I dropped out is because I want to become a full-time content creator. So when I was thinking of possible careers that I could pursue that could help me be the best version of a content creator that I can be, I was like, oh my god, let me do marketing, because obviously to learn how to market this girl, but also I figured it would be a stepping stone if maybe I started working in advertising after this, just so I can have those connections for when I go full-time, because it would be connections that I have made when I was working there. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that was the plan, and I don't have a plan B. Mina gine plan. There's no plan B. I know that I want to be a digital content creator and I want to do that for life. And in terms of creating content, it can be in front of the camera, behind the camera, but something that I do know is in that sphere is what I am trying to do. So obviously when I was studying engineering, I came to this what is it there where the main character only internal conflict. Understand, only internal conflict. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go up? Do I go down? To the left, to the right, down, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, So I was at that point and I decided, I had a conversation with my mom, okay, fine, we're dropping engineering. So obviously the conversation was hard. The conversation was hard with parents because it's when you say you want to be a digital content creator, what do you mean? They don't understand how, because I started off as a YouTuber and then I went to all the different platforms. But it's when you try and explain that to your parents, it's they don't really get what a content creator does. So obviously you can see where you're trying to go with your life, but they don't really see the vision for it's giving beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So everything is dependent on how you see it. They don't see no beauty in content creation, because how can they see beauty in something that they don't understand and something that they had never imagined for you, I will say, however, that my mom was always supportive from the beginning. My dad is only starting to sort of understand it, not even really right now, but it's been great. So obviously I'm not a liar. I'm not a man that I should lie. So whenever people would ask me, oh my god, you're still in school, whatever, I would say, yeah, I'm still in school. I decided to drop out to pursue marketing, whatever. And look at you say, as Barbara would say, how tomorrow blue you don't you know that that's how witchcraft works? So there's this one moment that I remember distinctively, right? So I was busy saying, okay, this is my plan. I want to be a content creator. I'm pushing content, and I'm trying my best to be on all different platforms so that I can monetize the content that I'm already creating, right? This person comes, right? And I was, oh my god, just thinking about it. But so this person comes and he's like, no, you wanna be an influencer. Only people like Michelin Damase and Faith in Getty can do that. Otherwise, like, it's not gonna work, whatever. Only those type of people, the people that quote unquote sell their bums or like post provocative things and stuff like that, those are the people that make it. And I'm quoting him, this is what this person said: these are not my views, evidently, because I was pressed, and I'm getting to that. So anyways, he says all of those things. So then obviously I look at myself, like, I am not the, like, when people think of influencers, they think of your Michalis Vele, definitely. And that I don't want to say get hope, when it's like a specific type of person, that's the type of person that they think of all the time. I don't fit that. I don't like makeups, I don't like wigs, and it's not a matter of like, oh, I want to be a natural girl. You know what I'm saying? I love watching videos of people installing wigs. I love watching videos of people doing makeup. I absolutely love that content, and I absolutely love seeing the girlies full face beads, edges laid. You know, I love it. I absolutely love it. And honestly, I love that because it's them. Like, I love it because it's them, and I love it. If you like it, I love it. And so I love it. But that's just not who I am. And I just looked at myself and I was like, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl, and I don't have a big booty. I almost had a big booty when I started walking, but then I stopped walking, so I don't have a big booty. I don't have a booty. This is all I got. This is all I got, literally. So I just started thinking about that, and I was like, no, but what do you mean? Because obviously I can still make it, because obviously my reference, the people that I follow, the influencers that I follow, the content that I watch, I see a representation of not people that are exactly like me, but I see a representation of people that I'm like, oh my god, you made it, and you're not the typical standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made it and you're not a baddie. You made it and you're not you don't meet the beauty standards of the world, which I also don't. Like, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I know that, but it's like the standards of the world, I don't meet them, you know, the beauty standards, whatever. So that's what he said. And like, this whole time I'm thinking about all of that, and then I remember on the car drive back home with my brother, I started crying from anger, because I'm teen, right? I started crying from anger, and then the more I kept explaining to my brother what my frustration is, the more I continued to cry. And my whole thing was, I know I can do it. I absolutely believe that this is what I'm going to do. Like, I keep telling you guys, there is no plan B. This is the plan, point blank, what? Period, right? So my confusion was like, how can you tell me I can't do it when I know I can do it? It was shock, actually. I was shocked, and I was appalled. And I was appalled because I was like, how dare you project your insecurities onto me? Just because this is not a typical career field or whatever, or it's not the typical thing that you're used to, doesn't mean that I can't make it and I can't live the life that I want to live through it. You know, that was my frustration. I was very offended. And it was that whole thing like, oh, you know, only Bobo, Michelle and whatever. Basically, he was saying only they get campaigns and whatever. And I was shocked and I was appalled, and I told you guys that I cried. But to get to what this week's episode is about, it feels so good to be, oh darling, it's a celebration for you, yeah. You're doing all the things they said you couldn't do. Whoa. So lift your hands. Basically, shout out to Beyonce Grammy performance alive. Basically, what this episode is about is you're doing all the things they said you couldn't do. Okay, I've been invited to 2 YouTube events this year, and that was so affirming. Every time I get one step closer to being the person that I want to be, it is so affirming, because me and God knows what we're doing, but it's like people don't see what you're doing. So it's like with stuff that people can see, like the big things, like getting campaigns, going to YouTube events, meeting their face. It's like you doing all the things they said you couldn't do. Oota, oota, oota. Oh, so lift your arm. Come on, come on, come on, come on. But basically, about, so I've been having a great time. There's been a lot of affirming moments in the career, and sometimes you can feel like you're creating content for nothing, you're doing all of it for nothing. I literally wrote an exam today, and after writing the exam I had to come down and sit and shoot, and after this I have to edit and upload like immediately. Like it has to be one of those things, and sometimes you feel like all this hard work that you're putting in is for nothing, and sometimes you can feel like, oh, this dream that God gave me, like good, and God gave me something easier to get into. But it's great. It's great, and it's affirming to see the fruits of all your hard work and the fruits of all your labor. But in any case, the first event that I went to, I want to tap into. I want to touch a little bit on sometimes when you reach the point of something you've always been dreaming about, how sometimes it can be overwhelming, and sometimes it's not necessarily the best experience, because you will dream about, like, one of my things, I can't wait to attend YouTube events, I can't wait to meet other YouTubers, I can't wait to be in the room. Like, you hear me? I can't wait to be in the room. The first YouTube event, I was so overwhelmed, I didn't even know how to be myself. I just felt inadequate. I was like, why am I in this room? But also, like, the social anxiety was really gripping me. It was really gripping me, so it was hard for me to do what I was there to do, to network, to meet more people, because honestly, like with any industry, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. But honestly, in these things, it's really who you know helps, because the more people you know, they're like, no, I'm not gonna be good for this campaign, but I know somebody who's really great, this is who she is. So it's stuff like that. You need to, like, network, get to know people. Also, it's good with stuff like, oh my god, I don't know, because I'm a newbie, like, I'm fresh in this game, I don't know how much to charge for this. How much did you charge when you were at my size? Okay, with inflation now, it should be this much, etc, etc. So it's great for that, and I just felt like I couldn't make the most of the moment, and I couldn't enjoy the moment, and my hair didn't look the way I wanted it to look, and I didn't like my outfit. And I just didn't thrive the way that I know how to thrive. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because at the end of the day, I knew, and I do know that I deserve to be in that room. And I had to do what I had to do, because I'm a content creator. I had to do what I had to do. I tried my best. It wasn't the greatest, but I was glad that I got the opportunity to be there. The second YouTube event, well, I understand that this hair that I currently have on, if you're not watching on YouTube, you can go check it out on my Instagram at @oneandonly_Rory. The braids that I have on now, I did the night before the event. So literally, I was at home, I drove back to Joburg because I thought the event was a day later than the day it was. I drove back from home, I came back, I washed my hair, and I did my hair that day. What was I up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. I did all of that, and I was like, I'm going to be hot, and this is the look that's going to work with my look, so I'm going to do it. The theme was dope casual. I said, I'm dope, I'm casual, I'm dope, and I'm casual. So I put the clothes on, and you know when an outfit comes together, So it came together and I looked great, and you look good, you feel good. But something that I was also doing differently when I was going to this YouTube event, I started affirming myself. I started saying, you literally got this, girl. You have a great personality. People want to talk to you. You are going to be great. You're going to talk to people. You're literally going to be intentional about talking to people. Even if it's awkward, it's fine. You'll find a new person to talk to. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And the huge difference that it was from the first time to the second time, to the first event to the second event, it was so great. I had so much fun at the second event. I was so intentional about putting myself out there, speaking to people, getting to know people. I got to know new people. I introduced myself to a few people. Some people, it was still awkward. Some people, I still think about it and cringe a little bit. But it was so much better, and it was so great, that to the point that, like, even now, we, like, follow each other and we comment on each other's things and whatever. And I say all of this to say, when you have a dream, it's a dream until it's fruition. And in the dream, no one can see. Nobody can see the dream like you can see it, you know? And sometimes it will come in, like, I feel like God prepares you. Like, he's not just gonna throw you in the deep end. And I feel like that first event was preparation for all the things that are coming. Like, I needed that first event to believe in myself. Like, I needed that first event to learn to believe in myself and to know who my God is. My God is, my God is, my God is. So I needed that first event to, like, familiarize myself, because, like, that first event was a bit smaller. The second one was big. The second one was big. All I see is defining. Oh what. Like, the second one was big. And I really feel like I needed that preparation with the first one so I could enjoy the second one. I don't even know what the point is. I'm trying to make it at this point is. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it does get better. It does get better. Sometimes some days are better than others, but I do believe that it literally does get better. Like, in as much as that moment when I got the invite was affirming, sometimes there are some things that will come on your way to your dream that will knock you down. I was knocked down. I cried when I got back from the first event. But what matters is that you get back up, you take your lessons from it, and you apply it as you continue to go. So honestly, each and every step that you will face is preparing you for where you want to be. I obviously see myself being a speaker at one of these YouTube events. I see myself as part of YouTube Black, and I'm glad that God is slowly turning me into who I need to be in those spaces, giving me the confidence that I need to have to be in those spaces. I've been working on my communication skills. I've been working on my networking skills. I've been working on just how to talk to people, which is something that I really struggle with. And I know because I speak a lot and gap up and I'm loud, a lot of people can think, oh my God, she's not shy, she's lying. Hey! It takes a lot for me to move past that and to actually initiate conversation and to continue with the conversation, if I'm making sense. But what I do want to say is it does get better, and it did get better for me. It is always a learning curve. Like, in as much as I'm living some of the dreams that I have, I know that my end goal dreams are way bigger than just being invited to YouTube events, way bigger than the few paid campaigns I've had, way bigger. Like, I have huge dreams, and I know that my God can do exceedingly and abundantly beyond anything I can think, dream, or imagine, right? And it's like, if God is for you, who can be against you, right? Because it's like that I could have easily let what that man said affect me, and I would have stopped trying to pursue what I know and what God knows he called me to do because of what one person said. Like, because of a negative, actually it wasn't one person, because it's like there was a lot of negative remarks when I left engineering. Because of negative remarks, I would have never gotten invited to the YouTube event. I would have never, like, I wouldn't be where I am with YouTube today. I wouldn't have had the campaigns I've had. Like, I literally would be stuck in something that I know is not my purpose, because someone else couldn't see my what? Vision. Anyways, so another thing on the same title of It Feels So Good to Be Alive. So obviously that was the theme song for King Richard, which is the movie about Venus and Serena Williams, mainly about Venus, which kind of surprised me because we know Serena as that girl right now, but do you know who took them out of the hood? Venus took them out of the hood, okay? And one thing that I really took away from that movie is how what you believe about yourself and what you believe you can achieve and what you believe you can do affects what you will actually achieve, you know? So that's what I wanted to say today. Like, that's the whole point. You're doing all the things they said you couldn't do. Just be proud of how far you have come and never stop believing in the dream that God put in you and who he called you to be. Because again, like, it's sometimes even your best friend won't see your vision. Like, yes, I'm lucky to have friends that support me, but sometimes they don't get it. Like, sometimes nobody's gonna see your vision, but God's got you. If God is for you, literally nobody can be against you. And what God has started to, in the work that God has started inside you, he will, you know, bring to completion. So don't allow people who don't see your vision to speak over your vision. Be very intentional. Like, if anybody's going to speak negatively about your vision or whatever, cut them out. Like, I remember there's a scene in King Richard where they interviewing Venus, and she says she believes that she's going to be number one in the world. And then they keep asking her, like, are you sure you aren't going to be number one? And then the father was like, stop it. She said it with confidence. That's it, period. So be intentional about blocking the negativity, speaking over your life. Well, understand, because not everybody's going to get it. It's not everybody's visions. At the end of the day, like, you know how if you wear glasses and somebody borrows your glasses, they can't see properly. Like, it doesn't give them clear vision because they're not meant for them. So whatever you see from your perspective is yours to see. Nobody will ever be able to see from your perspective. They can try to understand, they can try to relate, they can absolutely try their best, but nobody can truly see from that. And for me, what I honestly, openly and honestly talk about where I come from, like, I have been celebrating every single milestone. AdSense comes in, yes! Every single milestone that I can see, I'm one step closer to where I want to be. I absolutely celebrate it. I want you to do that too. Like, I want that for you too. Like, each and every milestone that you achieve for yourself, celebrate it. Be happy. Know that you are one step closer. Know that nothing is by mistake. Nothing is a coincidence. Just keep following in the steps that God has for you. And something that I do want to say every time I'm like planning my monthly goals, like, this is my intention for this platform, that platform, this is my intention for me this month, this is what this is the quotes that I have. Every day you get one step closer to living the life you want to. Be intentional by taking the steps today so that you don't have to tomorrow. So what I mean by that is, if you don't take those small steps today, let's say you want to start a YouTube channel and all you have is a phone, but you're looking at Okeyamzi or Tandigama that have the best of the best, and you don't start today, then you're not getting closer to the life you want to live. You're gonna have to do it later on, tomorrow. Just do it today. Literally follow Meg, just do it today. Start with what you have, do what you can with what you have. All that matters is taking one small step. Rome wasn't built in a day. 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 So take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, and it's find a reason why, one step at a time. And literally, maybe today's step is waking up, and maybe today's step is shooting the video, not necessarily posting it, but shooting it. Maybe today's step is watching a video on how to edit videos. Maybe today's step, but just do something. Take a step towards your dream. Be very intentional. Plan out your months, plan out your days, plan out your weeks, because at the end of the day, you are the only one that's responsible for your destiny. God can give you the idea. God can give you the idea. God gives you the strength to do it. God gives you the confidence to do it. You have to walk in that confidence. You have to make that decision that you're actually going to actively pursue that dream. That's on you. If you don't do it today, nobody else is going to do it for you. You're still gonna have to do it at the end of the day. So just do it now. Literally just do it now. So with my closing remarks, I just want to say, be very intentional about protecting your dream. Guard your heart for the things of life flow from it. It literally all starts with your heart. It's very important that you guard your dreams. So guard your heart. Speak positively over yourself, speak positively over your dreams, over your future, and don't allow any negativity in, because the minute you have self-doubt in your heart, the minute you allow self-doubt, the minute you start believing, I actually can't achieve this thing that I want to achieve, it's like then you're gonna start acting like you can't achieve it. Then you won't, and the reason why I share, when I'm not gonna wait until I've reached, maybe let's say for example Mpumi's level and above and beyond. I don't want to wait until then for me to speak on how much I believe in myself. I don't want to wait for them to speak about the steps that I'm taking today, because sometimes I watch those people, I'm like, yeah, but you're not suffering now. But it's like, I'm sharing why I'm suffering. I'm sharing what I'm suffering now, but I will be hard flexed but not crushed. Well, understand that? That's what the Bible says. So it is what it is. It's not great all the time. I literally had a whole rant on Twitter today about content creation, but it is like, I know what I'm going towards and that's what I'm gonna do. So all I want to say is, sometimes people are not gonna understand your vision, sometimes people are not gonna support your vision, but what is important is you and God know what you're doing, and if He's for you, who can be against you? Make sure that you protect and you guard your dream, and yeah, just look back at where you started and how far you've come. And if you see you haven't come as far as you wanted to, then start planning. How can you get to where you want to be? What are the steps that you can take today to get to where you want to be? And sometimes the excuse is always of, oh, I don't have money, I don't have whatever. What do you have that you can use? You want to be a presenter. Let's say, for example, you don't have the money to go to auditions right now. Like, are you standing in front of the mirror and presenting to yourself? Are you honing your skill? Are you perfecting your skill so that by the time people see you, by the time you can get into those spaces, when God gives you that opportunity to be in those spaces, are you going to make the most out of it, or are you going to embarrass God? Because everything that we do it for His glory. Are you going to glorify God when you get in those spaces, when He puts you there, or are you just going to be a maza? At the end of the day, we're ambassadors of Christ if you believe in Jesus, which I believe you should, which you should. That is who we are. We are always representing Christ, and it's like, we should be the best of the best, 10 times better. Like, ooh, Daniel, was it Daniel? Yes, Daniel, Nimishak and Abednego. Daniel was. We should be 10 times better. So make sure that you are honing your skill. Make sure that everything that you're doing is going towards improving you as a person, sure, building your character, sure, but also make sure that your skill matches up. Your skill must match up. Like, when you're given the opportunity, come to the party. Come to the party. And that's all I have to say for today's episode. I really hope that you really gained something from it, and I really hope that we will continue to do all the things they said we couldn't do. Anyways, I'll see you guys if we're watching, hear you, no, you hear me? If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or the rest of the streaming platforms, I really do enjoy I really do enjoy doing these podcast episodes. I do enjoy sharing aspects of my life that I really feel like a lot of people can relate to, and sometimes you may feel like you're alone, but so long as God is alive, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Anyways, that's it from me. I'll see you guys next week. Definitely. If you wanna drag me, I get again. But I will see you next week. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed and you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcast and you haven't left Apple Podcast or on Spotify and you haven't left a review yet, please make sure that you leave a review so that people can know to listen to this amazing podcast. Because one thing that I do know, I'm wearing a Shein top and I wouldn't have bought it if I read the reviews and they sucked or there were no reviews. So please, reviews are very important in our adult life. So please make sure that you leave a review. Please make sure that you leave a review so that more people can get to see this podcast and more people can get to enjoy it. If you are on YouTube, comment down below what you learned from this week's episode and what you believe about yourself, who you think you are, and who God says you are. Shout out to you guys. Love you loads. Guess so sweet.